Hey, how are you? Joe Joe Brat, Interventionist, Doctorate of Addiction, Doctorate of Intervention Therapy, and a Doctorate of Divinity, which is spirituality. I've done thousands of interventions, thousands of referrals. I've sent many people to rehabs, many people to detoxes, to hospitals. I've changed a lot of lives. I've gotten a lot of scholarships for children and adults who had no insurance, and facilities I work with, who I do consulting work with, and referral work with. I asked them to do me a favor and get these people another chance at life, and they gave them a scholarship, a 30-day scholarship, which would run about $12,000 to $25,000. And for people with no money, that could be, might as well be $1 million. But I have helped numerous people. The reason why I do the things I do is because I too have the disease of addiction. I too was afflicted with that disease. When I was 10, my father was shot and killed by 3 men in New York City. One of them being John Gotti, Angelo Ruggiero, and a gentleman called Frankie the Wig. They murdered him in Staten Island in Snoopy's bar. And at 10 years old, there I was with my father being murdered. I did see his addiction and what it did to him. And I remember promising myself that I would never be like him. The unfortunate thing is when you have a disease, you can't promise yourself you'll never be like that, because it's in your DNA to become that. And as soon as I tasted from the cup, I had arrived, and it took me a lot of years to change that and to get better and to get into recovery and let treatment be my guide and find the God of my understanding, which is why now I have a doctorate in divinity. I wasn't always spiritual. I didn't always have a God. I didn't always believe in him. I always wondered why he took my father from me, why such a young boy had to be without a father, and I was always afraid. So to become fearless, I found stuff that helped me to become fearless. Fearless Joe. Crazy Joe, they used to call me. Crazy Joe. And I fit that role perfectly. You know, I'm sad that my father never got into recovery, never went to meetings. So when I went to rehab in 2001, it was June 22nd, and I went there because it wasn't my first time in rehab, but I wanted it to be my last time. So I listened to learn and learned to listen, and I heard what I needed to hear, and I did what I needed to do. When I got out, I listened to every suggestion they made. So when I do an intervention, I'm not just doing an intervention from reading a book. I'm doing an intervention because I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking to an addict. One addict helping another is without parallel. You can't have, any better of a person helping another addict than an addict himself in recovery. Because when I speak, they know I'm talking the truth. You know, right behind me you'll see I have Michael Jackson signed plaque by him. And I believe that if his family would have let me do an intervention on him, that I would have been able to save him, because I could have talked to him from my heart, because I was him. I needed pills and opiates because I had back surgery. And when I had back surgery, I didn't know the pain from the pills was the pain from the pills until I tried to stop taking them. And Michael too never had that freedom. He just needed it, and he wanted it, and it killed him. And I thank God it didn't kill me. And I use that as an example. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to go on later on, but I got to cut it short.